There goes my Uber. Just got dropped off here at Spangler Rd. Let's get on the water. Glad to see everything safe and sound, right where I put it. All right, here we go. Shoving off here at Spangler Rd. Very excited to be back in the water. It's a beautiful day. That's the Spangler Rd Bridge just ahead. It looks like the famous Spangler Rd rope swing is gone. At least I don't see it. Oh, yeah, it's right in front of us. There it is. It's still there. There used to be a big platform up there in that sycamore tree. This is a good one. So for me, this is segment 4 of my 2025 section paddle on the entire Mad River. I'll put links to the first 3 sections in the description box if you want to check those out. So the Mad River is approximately 52 miles in length from West Liberty, Ohio, from Lions Club Ballpark to Deeds Point Metro Park in Dayton, where it flows into the Great Miami River. And I've been doing this annually for 3 years now, and this is my final segment. I call it segment 4. However, there are 2 additional segments this year because I went upriver 2 separate times all the way to the very source of the Mad River, where it begins as a spring being pumped out of the ground, and it's no wider than a little creek. I will also put those videos down below too if you want to check those out, because they were what nightmares are made of. Especially the second one where I started at the source. It was bad. Oh man, I didn't know I had a tree here. But I'm just happy to be back on a navigable section of the Mad River where I don't have to fight log jams and blowdowns and honeysuckle growing across the river. This is going to be fantastic, and I got some great homegrown veggies to cook over the fire tonight. Oh, I forgot to mention how long this paddle is going to be. So I put in at Spangler Rd. My truck is at Deeds Point Metro Park, actually more specifically Kettering Fields, right alongside the Great Miami River. It's about a 1/4 mile walk up the Great Miami River from Deeds Point Metro Park, where the Mad River flows into the Great Miami River. So that is where my truck is. So I came here first, hid my kayak in the woods, then drove on down to Kettering Fields, parked my truck, called an Uber, and Ubered back up here to my kayak. So I've done that numerous times over the last few years, and it works out really well. This little section right here was on my mind earlier because it was a pretty dangerous sweeper last year right here. But it looks like the floodwaters have washed it away, and this is pretty straightforward. I'm glad. It's actually still sucking me into the right. Holy moly. Look out. That wasn't bad. It definitely makes it a little harder to maneuver quickly when you're loaded down with a lot of weight. You know, I got all my camping gear and full water bottles and food for 2 meals, so I'm a little heavier than what I will be tomorrow, obviously. So sometimes the water just takes you where it wants to. I can finally relax. Today is August 2nd, Saturday, August 2nd. And if you remember, it was absolutely gorgeous out. A high of like 77, low humidity, a light breeze, and full sunshine. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better summer day, whether it's going to farmers markets or paddling down the river. And boy, did we have a good day at the farmers markets. Wow. If you are into farming and gardening, homesteading, growing your own food, or just like vegetables or seeing farms, check out our farm channel. I post 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's kind of like a farm vlog. I show all of our harvesting, packing our trucks, selling our produce, working with employees to run our farm. And we had a big day, and I'm glad that that's all over and behind me, and now I'm out here enjoying what I really love to do. By the way, the name of the channel is Wishwell Farms Produce, if you're curious. I'll put a link in the description. Love little sections like that. So the camping plan tonight is to go downriver at least 4 miles. That'll get me far enough below I-70 that I won't hear the traffic noise. I remember a sandbar on River Left that looked really nice last year. I almost stopped there. But my go-to spot is at 5¼ miles below Spangler on River Right. And I've camped there on that sandbar for the last 2 years. The first time was with Lance from the Outland channel. And we also were there with David Ty, Hollywood, on his canoe with his 2 boys. And we cooked Mexican street corn. Oh man, that was phenomenal. I have sweet corn with me today, but I don't have all the ingredients to make Mexican street corn. But that's all right, I got something else planned. So that's the plan, is to get to one of those sites and have plenty of time to enjoy the campfire and camp life before dark. But it's gonna go quick. You know, the days are getting shorter every day, and it's probably getting close to 6 o'clock already. So hopefully I can be to camp by 7:30 and have a good hour of full daylight to enjoy my campfire, get all my food cooked, and I might even go live tonight. I don't know what these pretty pink flowers are on this shrub, bush, tree, whatever that is, but I film them every year. Those are gorgeous. Tell me in the comments what those are, guys. I would say the river's up just a few inches. It's a little cloudy and murky from the recent rains we had. Oh, 2 days ago on Friday. No, Thursday. We got about 1 inch of rain. So the water has not cleared up yet, but that's good. Makes for some fun paddling. For those of you who have been following me for quite some time, probably know that I normally don't have a life jacket or a PFD on my kayak trips. But I purchased this one a couple months ago. It's just a cheap Amazon purchase. Onyx, something like that. It was like 60 bucks, 50, 60 bucks. I didn't want to spend $120, $200 on a nice one, but I like it. I like that the pad in the back is kind of raised and it clears the top of my seat. So I don't have a pad like in between my back and the seat. It goes over above the seat. So it's very comfortable. And serves its purpose. I don't need some fancy life vest. This is perfect. Great big blowout up ahead. We can get under it, but I definitely don't recognize any of this from last year. Oh, no problem. I was smelling some campfire smoke back there about a half mile ago, and I was expecting to see someone camping on the banks, but nobody yet. Just me out here all alone, which is perfectly fine. I'm enjoying my solo time. Approaching I-70 up ahead. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for a good campsite, but we are still too close to I-70. We're a half mile south of I-70, but I can still hear the roar of traffic. Woohoo! So we need to go at least another half mile, and then we'll start looking hard. But if I don't find anything, it's no big deal. I got my good standby sandbar here in just a couple miles. Perfect river snack. An old bridge right there. The foundation of a bridge. Yeah, I can see the other side right there. So there was another one just before I-70, about like a couple hundred yards before I-70, and here's another one about a half mile south of I-70. I'd love to know the history of those bridges. They don't seem to be very high, so I'm sure they got washed out during major floods. But I would love to know who built them, why they built them, were they used for vehicle traffic? I don't know. Got some campers there on River Right. Osborne Road. I think we have less than a mile to go to camp. One more landmark that I wanted to point out about the gravel bar that I'm camping on tonight. I said it was 5.25 miles downriver from Spangler Rd. It is a quarter mile across the concrete road, sunken road that goes down into the river with culverts going through it. And you have to portage over it, and it's a little difficult. Well, it can be. It depends on the water levels. So after you cross that concrete road with the culverts going through it, and the concrete road's kind of settled down into the water. It's a really strange road. It's a quarter mile further, and the sandbar's on River Right. It is beautiful. So this sign crossing the river right here is a warning sign about the concrete road I was just talking about with the culverts going through it. You can't read it. I see the word now. Probably said, exit now, River Right. That sign's been there as long as I can remember. And as long as the water is not too high, which it isn't right now, it's pretty normal. It might be up a couple inches. It's usually no problem getting over this. I think there has been a drowning here. So you gotta be careful. But as long as you approach this thing carefully and exit River Right, it's really not that big of a deal. But I wouldn't want to do it when water levels are up. So I would just recommend getting out River Right and going over it and getting back in on River Right. I have done River Left as well, but I think River Right is a little bit easier. Okay, I guess the water is a lot higher than I thought. It looks like it's flowing over the concrete road. There it is right there. Right there. Oh my. I mean, it looks like we can get out River Right, no problem. And that's what we're gonna do. Man, I can't wait to get my eyes on this. I've never seen the water go over this road in all 5 times I've went through here. And the water's not even up that high. What in the world? Let's go check it out. All right, I gotta be a little careful here. It looks like it could suck me over right there. It's kind of looking like a low-head dam. I'm not even gonna go over there because I think it's deep right there. I mean, this water's really deep. I'm gonna sneak through right here and pull out. I'm not taking any chances. All right, now I can get my eyes on this thing. Check it out. The water is going over the top of it. I mean, if you didn't have any gear with you and you had a nice sporty type kayak for whitewater, you could go over that no problem, I bet. Let's get out of here and go take a look at it. All right, now you can see how big this drop is. 5 foot right here. Probably about 3.5 foot right there. So if water was really, really high, you could probably fly right over that. I wouldn't want to do it today. I'm gonna get soaked, lose half my gear probably. But I've never seen water go across this. I know it happens all the time, but I've just never been here during high water. Several years ago when I took out, I went back in over there. But I typically go in on River Right down there. It's not too bad. Here's a look from the other side. There's those culverts I was talking about. And they're not even visible from the other side. It's very strange. They're all blocked up, I think. Water's really pouring across that. This is not going to be easy. It's kind of deep and rocky right here. And I gotta bring my kayak, which is full of all my gear and everything, down through here. The good news is the little gravel bar with my campsite is just downriver, a quarter mile. Let's take a look at this from the water. Yeah, the other side of these culverts are blocked off somewhat. I can see water flowing on the other side there. Spooky. All right, I'm ready to get the camp. All right, this is our sandbar on River Right. It's a pretty spot and very quiet. There's a little bit of road noise off in the distance, but it's not too bad. Hopefully we got a lot of driftwood because I want a fire. All right, we're here. Right up there. All right, let's check out this gravel bar. I'm seeing some nice driftwood around here. I normally camp like right here. It's usually a little more sandy and less big stones, but this isn't too bad. A lot of camping options through here. There's some thorny bushes over here, but it's not too bad. Looks like we got some good driftwood. I gotta decide if I want to camp in the shade or out here in the sun. The rocks look bigger back here, so I think I'm gonna camp right here. This looks perfect. There's the spot right there. Driftwood fires are the easiest fires to start. Oh man, this is so relaxing. Yeah, it's a little work gathering firewood. I'm glad I found some big pieces because all the little pieces of driftwood, man, they just go up like that. So I just got my drone out and is ready to take it off to capture some amazing drone footage of my sandbar, my fire, my campsite, and the river. And I forgot that it's a unauthorized flying zone because Wright Pat Air Force Base is like right over there. So no drone. I'll get some drone later on when we get out of the Air Force Base area. I might have to wait all the way to the end down by Deeds Point Metro Park where the big fountains are. That'll be cool. I was able to get some drone footage of that last year, but I'll try to do it again this year. I think it'll be really nice tomorrow afternoon. Clear blue skies. It should be beautiful. But if I can fly it earlier, maybe over the Huffman Dam or something like that, as soon as we get out of the Wright Pat Air Force Base authorization zone, I should be able to fly it. I just don't know where that's at. Well, I'm gonna chill out for a few minutes and then I'm gonna start cutting up veggies for dinner because I'm getting mighty hungry. That was the Nemo Philo, by the way. This is my Mountain Laurel Designs synthetic quilt. It's probably good down to about 50, 55 degrees. Should be perfect for tonight. All right, here's what's on the menu tonight. Of course, sweet corn, right? One of my main crops I grow on my farm. Zucchini, bell pepper, yellow squash, a yellow tomato, a couple red potatoes. I'll probably save those for breakfast. An eggplant, a sweet banana pepper, a jalapeno pepper to spice it up a little bit, and a sweet Vidalia onion. So on my way through town, I was trying to find some beef because I wanted to slice it up and put it in my fajitas. And they were completely out except for like expensive ribeyes and ground chuck. So I bought these pork loin chops. They're kind of thin. I'm gonna saute these up first, set them aside, and then cook up all the vegetables. And then we'll put them in our fajita wraps with sour cream, cheese, and a special sauce. It's time to start cutting up some veggies. I'll save part of this pepper for tomorrow's breakfast. We'll go ahead and get all the peppers done first. Sweet banana pepper. These are very mild. And finally, the jalapeno. The little nighttime gnats are starting to make their way out. All right, zucchini. Some yellow squash. Next up, eggplant. And I'm not going to need a lot of this either. We're going to cut a couple slices right out the center. I picked a really small one just because I knew I wouldn't need much. All right, and the Vidalia onion. And I will save some of this for tomorrow as well. Just about ready to saute all this up. And finally, we're gonna throw a few green beans in there for good measure. They take the longest to cook, but that's all right. I won't put a lot in. All right, I'd say she's good to go. Man, these pork chops are good. I'm just gonna slice them up real thin and throw them in my fajitas. Mmm. Oh, look at that perfect sweet corn. I want to throw the meat back in when the veggies are about done. So I'm just gonna strip this corn off with the meat and put it all in together because the corn only takes a minute. It doesn't take very long to cook, like some of those other veggies do. This is salt, pepper, and paprika. All right, everything's about done, so we're gonna throw this all in together now. Heat the meat back up and get this corn sauteed up a little bit. Wow, that looks really good. All right, this sauce I'm gonna make, I usually do it separately and pour it in, but we're just gonna cook it over here on this side. So a little bit of butter, some brown sugar, and mustard, believe it or not. That looks good. I'm gonna get that all heated up and kind of mixed together, and then we'll get it all mixed up in the veggies and it should be good to go. Yeah, it's working pretty good. It's all melted and dissolved together. Perfect. Looks like it's ready to throw into the tortillas. Oh man, that is so good. I forgot about my yellow tomato. So for this one, we're going to cut a couple slices up to add a little juiciness and acidity. Well, these yellow ones, orange, whatever you want to call them, are supposed to be low acid, but they'll be good addition, I think. Adding some of this juiciness. There we go. All right, round two. Try to save a little bit of this cheese for tomorrow's breakfast. My goodness, this is going to end up being as big as a Chipotle burrito. Mmm. Oh, that's good. I like the addition of the tomato in there. All right, time to get some breakfast going. Let's cut into this bad boy and see what we got. I picked this out in my field last night before heading to the river. Oh, it looks like a good one. They were all really big. This is like the smallest one I could find that was ripe. So we're gonna start with this piece right here. All right, here we go. This is only my second taste of our homegrown cantaloupes this season. Very sweet. That is a 9 out of 10. I picked a good one. That's a good sign that we're gonna have a good cantaloupe season this year. It's ready for the eggs, but you know what? We're gonna throw in your sweet corn. I have 2 left, and I'm not gonna eat them if I don't put them in here. These kernels of corn will only take a few minutes to saute up with the rest of those veggies, and then we'll add our eggs. This will add a touch of sweetness to my breakfast today. So I just discovered how I got sand in my meal several months ago when I was out here. I'm setting my Frisbee plate on the ground when I'm prepping food, and it had a little bit of condensation or dew on the bottom. And then when I went to dump my veggies in there, the sand was falling off into my skillet. So definitely gotta be more careful from here on out when putting my veggies in my pot. All right, time for some eggs. Touch more salt and pepper. Just about done. All right, breakfast is served. I wish I had some hot sauce or ketchup, but I forgot it. All right, let's give this a try. It does look a little dry, but anything cooked over a fire is good, right? Excellent. That'll help me finish up these final 9 miles. Very good. That sweet corn added just a little bit of sweetness to it. Delicious. All right, here we go. Day 2 on the Mad River. Just left camp right there behind me. Oh, crap, man. I lost my phone. Are you gotta be kidding me? I had it slid in the side there. Okay, everything else too. Alright, let's get up to the sandbar over here. Thank goodness my GoPro is still working. Hope there's not a deep hole here. I'm only in 3 foot of water right now. Alright, I'm gonna walk around this sandbar. Alright, it's getting shallower. I'm at 2 foot now. Maybe there's some mysterious way my phone's still here. I don't know. Well, the start of this day sure went south in a hurry. My goodness. I just about went completely under. So, right there's the sandbar I started on, and as you saw, I was floating away to begin my day, and that little thing popping up and down out of the water right there, the current, I wasn't paddling fast enough, and the current got me and took me right into that thing. And I leaned to counteract the water flow, but it was a little too strong for me, and it tipped me over, instantly filled up with water, and then I got sucked into all that garbage right there. I'm glad I have my PFD on me. I think I would have been all right without it, but that just goes to show you that you never know when to expect something like that to happen. That could have been very bad. Fortunately, everything was tied down to my kayak. Looks like all the water's about out. Two phone cases, waterproof phone cases, and I wasn't using them. It just never dawned on me in a million years that I would get drug into a sweeper, or whatever you want to call that. Ugh, so aggravating. This was supposed to be an easy, relaxing float. All right, let's give this another shot. Man, that was not fun. Slowed me down about 20 minutes. Of all the things that survived that, you know, my frisbee plate, my skillet, my tongs, tripod, trekking poles, the GoPro. The GoPro even went upside down underwater with the media mod on it, and it is still working perfect. I can't believe it. But of all the things I could have lost, I'm glad I didn't lose the GoPro, because I use that every day on the farm. I would have rather have lost anything else in this kayak other than my iPhone. Well, except the GoPro, but it is what it is. Let's get moving. I'm just glad I had the GoPro running. I can't wait to watch this footage, see how it turned out. I thought for sure it was going to be dead when I tipped my kayak back up. Pretty incredible, because I didn't think they were waterproof with the media mod on them, especially the microphone. I mean, I thought for sure it was going to be dead. Pretty awesome. Another issue I just thought about is that I don't even know what time it is, because I didn't wear my watch on this trip. So, up here in 3 to 5 miles, we have Huffman Dam Park. So I'll be able to holler up at to some people that are probably walking along the trail to see what time it is. I could potentially get out there and use someone's phone to call an Uber to go on down to my truck and just get out of here. Or after that, after going through the Huffman Dam, there's another metro park, Eastwood Metro Park. There's a little lowhead dam there and a place where the water gets funneled through the rocks, where it goes through kind of quick. There's always people there on the weekends, so I could stop there, you know, but by the time I get there, I'm only 2 or 3 miles from the end. So if I get that far, I might as well just finish it. But we'll see what happens when we get to Huffman Park, and I'll see what time it is, and if it's getting too late to continue on, I'm just gonna have to borrow someone's phone to call an Uber and get the heck out of here. So I was just thinking, there is a slight chance that when my phone slipped out of my little pouch on my cooler, that the water washed it to the very back of the kayak. Very unlikely, probably just slipped right out and went out of the boat. But there is a slight chance that it is back there in the very back. So I'm looking forward to tipping my kayak forward to seeing if the phone is indeed back there. But the good news about the cell phone thing is, I have another iPhone 13 that the lightning connector doesn't work on it. It's at home. So I can just reactivate that one, and I'll have to use a charging pad until I get another phone. And the reason I got a new one, even though that other one works perfectly fine, is because I can't fly the drone without a lightning port connection. So no drone flights on this trip, unfortunately. That's all right. At least everything is safe and I have all my gear, minus my phone. I like to get a little bit of speed up for these because they try to sweep you into the bank. That's exactly what happened last time when I hit that log. keep thinking about my cell phone, and I just thought of something else bad about it. I keep a $50 bill in the back of my case, between my phone and my case. So not only did I lose an iPhone 13, I lost 50 bucks. This has turned into a very expensive section battle. At least we have a drop-dead gorgeous day to be out on the water. My goodness. It's perfect. I'm sure many of you watching this right now have had your own mishaps on the river at one time or another. So let me know down in the comments what your biggest mishap was, where it happened, how it happened, and did you lose anything to the river? I look forward to reading the comments. We are coming up on Huffman Park up here to the right, Huffman Metro Park, just before the Huffman Dam. We have a river baptism going on right here. All right, we made it to the Huffman Dam. There's the stop sign, the danger sign. Let's go get a closer look. Hopefully we can make it through. I've never had a problem in the prior 3 times I went through here. It wouldn't be a fun portage, that's for sure. But if it's blocked, we will portage. I see some debris in front of it right now, but there's 3 passages, 3 different ways you can go through. And it's fairly shallow right in front of it. So if I need to get out quickly, I can. I usually take the center one, but it looks like it's blocked with debris. It's only a foot deep here. I just touched. Gotta make a decision here quickly. Because if I'm getting out, you gotta get out right here and go up and over. All right, it's getting a little deeper. We're 3 foot here. All right, we're kind of committed now. Which way are we gonna go? I think we better go river right, or how about tunnel right? The middle one's blocked. So we're taking the far right. Looks a little choppy on the other side. Get a little speed up here. Should be able to sail on through, no problems. Just gotta watch out for this weird current right here at the other end. Looks like it's going to shoot me left towards the wall. Or right through it. Woo! Got a little splash up, no problems. That's probably the highest the water's ever been in the 4 times I've went through that. But it was still not sketchy at all. But I would definitely not want to go through it if the water was any higher, or if there was any more debris, or if you didn't have your personal flotation device. It could get sketchy. All right, we're here at one of the 2 portages I got coming up. This one's kind of like a giant stair-stepping type low head dam, probably 15 or 20 feet high. There, you can see the river up ahead of me, how much lower it is. Gotta go around this, take out right over there, and then we'll walk down that driveway and get back in. We'll be able to get a good look at this from the other side. I'm trying to keep my distance. I don't want to get sucked into that. You can hear the roar of it. Wow. Now, you can go straight ahead. Colonel and I did that back in 2018, but I wouldn't recommend going that way. It's better to portage here on River Right and go down that driveway and get back in. I just remember going that direction being a pain in the butt to get back in the main river. All right, I'm gonna turn around here. You can see this a little better now. Yeah, probably 15 feet. It might be 20. And it's not like it's that dangerous. It's not like it's a straight drop off, kind of stair steps down. I wonder if anybody's ever went down that during high water on a whitewater kayak. Probably. So this next half-mile section I'm coming up to right now before the Eastwood Metro Park was really shallow last year. I had to walk probably a quarter mile, if not almost a half mile. But fortunately the water is up at least 6 inches right now, so it should be smooth sailing. And here I am at portage number 2. About a 10-foot drop maybe. Bunch of big boulders. You could probably fish your kayak or canoe down through that if you had a rope. But I portage left right here. I know it doesn't look that rough, but there's huge boulders like this everywhere down in there, and it's really hard to walk through that. My buddy ran his canoe down through here as they walked on these rocks, but he had a big rope. It's just easier to go up and around and come back down there on that gravel. It's a pretty area of the Mad. Onward. I think we might be down to our final 3 or 4 miles, hopefully. Okay, this is the section that was actually really low. I can tell the water's really low up ahead here. I'm gonna try to stay river right so we don't drag much. I don't think I got over soon enough. Yeah, last time I had to walk all of this, all the way to that blue bridge up ahead. But I think we'll be okay this time. So there's this app I use called Marco Polo that it's almost like live video where you can chat back and forth with somebody. And I talk with Colonel, my buddy the Colonel, on that quite a bit. And I swear, I thought I just heard the Marco Polo chime go off, notification go off. I don't know if I was just hearing things or if it's really back there in the back of my kayak. I'm half tempted to pull off and unload everything and tip my kayak forward to see if my phone really is back there. I was probably just hearing things. I'm sure it's not back there, but we will soon find out. So if you were to take river left at that first portage with the big 20-foot stair step dam, here's where you would come out. Look at that nightmare to get around. It's not fun. So just behind me, a couple hundred yards, I stopped at a little gravel bar, unloaded my kayak, tipped it forward, shook it. No cell phone. I thought it was going to be a glorious end to a section paddle, finding my cell phone. No such luck. Oh well. I was hopeful. I'm just glad I got another backup phone at home. I wish I knew what time it was though. I'm guessing it's sometime between 12 and 1 p.m. I hope it's not any later than that, because I'd like to be back on the road by 3 at the very latest. All right, we're approaching Eastwood Metro Park up here on the left. There's actually trails beside the river all along me. I see a person up there on the left. There's some shelter houses up there, a bunch of trails, bathrooms. So there's a little low head dam crossing just up ahead here. I think I can get around it to the right. And then we have some like fast water chutes that are formed from the big boulders they put together. I could probably go over the little dam, but I'm not going to risk it. I'll probably just get out and go around it to the right here. So there's a little look at it. It's not much different than the one on US 36 in Urbana. If I didn't have gear with me, I would go right over it, but a little much for me today. All right. Shall I go for this one? Gosh, it looks a lot higher today than normal. I don't know. Let's go over here and take a better look at it. Yeah, I decided not to go through it. It's just a little rougher than normal. I'm sure I could get through there no problem, but I would get really wet. So I'm gonna go through. Well, maybe I'll hop back in right here. That's a fun little ride though. Just after what happened to me earlier, I'm not really wanting to fall in again and get everything wet or lose something. So right back there at the park, I asked a fella who was standing down by the water what time it was, and he said 12:56. So we're in good shape. I think I can finish up here in the next hour and a half and make it home in plenty of time for my family dinner. I'm pretty sure we only got 2 or 3 miles to go. This must be the goose hangout. Hopefully I can get through here unscathed. I don't know the best path. Hopefully I chose a good one. A little low head dam here, it looks like. Oh boy, here we go. Getting our first look at the downtown Dayton skyline and Dayton Children's Hospital up ahead. Check out this little lean-to. The fire's still smoldering. Man, that's cool. Fun little hangout spot. Some of you may be wondering, why in the world do I do the Mad River so often? It's because it's my hometown river, and during the busy farming season during the summer, I can't get away for more than just one night. So the Mad River is always my go-to river to get a quick overnight kayak camping trip in. But this is going to be the last time, I think. I am ready to call it quits on the Mad River, and I'm going to start venturing out into new rivers. The Stillwater River's on my list. I got a couple rivers down near Wayne National Forest, the Little Muskingum, and my favorite rivers are all in Michigan. So from now on, I plan to venture out into new rivers during the summer. In September, I'll still continue to go to Michigan. I have a few rivers left on my list that I want to tackle, and this year it's going to be the Platte River or the Pigeon River. Really looking forward to hitting one of those rivers. I want to do both of them, but I have to choose one this year. I was leaning towards the Pigeon, but now I'm kind of looking at the Platte, so we will see come third week of September. We are entering the home stretch. I can see the little fountain towers there at Deeds Park, and I can see the Dayton School there on the right. I'm hoping it's getting close to 2 o'clock so we can see the fountains go off. I'm sure it's getting close. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Great Miami River. Since I don't know what time it is, I don't know how long we're gonna have to wait for the fountains to go off. They go off at the top of every hour. It's gotta be getting close to 2 o'clock. Well, I know what time it is. It's 2 p.m. The fountains just went off. Since I don't have my phone, obviously I can't fly my drone. So I'm gonna put up some footage from last year so you can see what it looks like from up above. Enjoy.